afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the APAT show. Leigh, how are you? What are we going to be zoning in on tonight?
I am very well indeed. Good evening, everybody. It's another Sunday night. Yeah, we've got a little bit of action on Grosvenor Poker tonight with the Sunday APAT Sunday Splash. A bunch of players been playing that since 7 o'clock. We're down to 16 now, so we've got 2 tables of 8 remaining as we're jumping straight into a little bit of action there. The Noble Viking with the Kings, and that was I didn't even see who the player that bust there. Des, did you catch who it was as they went?
Didn't.
It was Made You Fold again, which I think is Naz, isn't it? So unfortunately departs. So Noble Viking picks up with the Kings as straight in. They didn't even get a chance to go through name check anybody or even explain what's going on. So,
Very fast and furious start. You mentioned Naz. Well, Naz joined the stream about 30 seconds ago. I mean, he might have already left. So Naz is watching. Matt Smith is there. Tris is there and says, good evening, one and all. Good evening to you, Tris. So yeah, guys, if you're in the chat box, if you're playing, if you're not playing, you want to have a chat with us, get involved.
Absolutely. So yeah, we're down to 15 now. So we're paying top 7 in this £184 in the prize pool tonight. It's just a little £5 tourney with it does actually have pretty much unlimited re-entries, so you can, as the name says, you can have a bit of a splash around if you want. You say you've got a couple of hours late reg on it, and a few of them have done exactly that and had a few re-entries so far tonight, but are doing okay. As we did say, building up into the show, just as I'm jumping hands as Tony Ross with 9s busts another player, so we're down to 14. So I'm better very quickly explain what we're going to do with some added value tickets tonight.
Yes,
that we've got. So we're paying top 7, so that would mean we'd have 8 on a final table. So min cash is pretty much a tenner tonight. So what we'll do to start with, we'll do what we did last when we did this a couple of weeks ago, is straight away we'll pay 8th place £10 worth of med poker party tickets on poker raffles. So basically everybody on the final table will therefore pick up some prize in one way. So that's the first thing we're going to do, and I think we'll then put the rest of the tickets up for the top 3. So that's nice. What we'll do. So we'll do £40 or 40 tickets, 30 tickets, 20 tickets for the top 3, all added value into the Cyprus draw, which is happening a week tomorrow. So good luck for that. If for any reason any of you guys that do win these tickets can't make Cyprus and would rather offer the tickets to somebody else, we can do that as well. What we can't do is if you're in the draw and you win the Cyprus, but there's no transferring it at that point. So if you know for definitely you're not going to be able to go and you get some of these added value ones, you can always nominate somebody else to have them in their name if you definitely know you're not going to be able to go. It's the middle of May, isn't it, Des? I think is the middle of May. But hey, if you can go, it's well worth having some tickets and taking a chance, because it's a cracking event, the Mediterranean poker party over in Cyprus at the Merit hotel complex, hotel and casino over there. Some say millions of dollars in guarantees.
I think was it John Late, Leigh, I want to say, who put a post up a week or so ago saying he'd been there. It was just an amazing sort of place to go and play poker. You're obviously in quite a esteemed company in terms of the types of players that are going to show up, and of course, it's a big event, big buy-in, big prize pool.
Yeah, absolutely. So I can see Di is in the chat saying, what about 14th for tickets? Well, that's because Di is currently 14th of the 14 remaining players. Di is cold-hearted bitch.
It's a great name. It's a great name. It's a great name, I have to say. It's not Di, though. Di is not that. She's the opposite of that, I think. But a great name nonetheless. Di, clearly you're going to have to stay awake for another while because 14th just isn't going to cut the mustard.
Yeah, so let's quickly give you a rundown of the 14 we've got left. So we mentioned Di, who's currently 14th at the moment. Lockdown Rock is there. Joe Diago, 24, is there. Seymour Tilts, Beanbag 85. So you've got Alan and you've got Chris there. Double Top 40, who's Steve 40. He's still going. Hardcore One Ball, which is Karen, still there. Is that just Vegas? It is just simply Vegas. I don't know who that is.
I like that.
Bielsa's Bucket is playing again tonight. Renot, who's Tony Ross, is currently fifth of the remaining players. Colm CG, which is Colin, is currently fourth. Noble Viking, who we mentioned with the Kings earlier on, is currently third. Kieziel is second, and currently our chip leader is the one and only Douglas Dew. Brian Froome.
Nice. And so Douglas Dew is out there. Evening, folks. Evening to you, Brian. Evening to everyone.
So just to clarify then, so 100 tickets that we're going to go, as we've got pocket fives in against the Ace Jack. It's the Ace Jack at risk, and Bielsa's Bucket is going to hold on there with the fives, and we lose Lockdown Rock in 14th place, which means Die's not going to be 14th. So, say a bit more positive thoughts is what we want, really. So just to confirm then, the 100 tickets we said we're going to give away 100. Is exactly what we're going to do. We'll do 10 for 8th place, so everybody on the final table gets paid, and then we will do 20 tickets for third, 30 tickets for second, and 40 tickets for whoever wins. It's on top of everything being paid out. So there's £184 in the prize, but winner tonight's going to pick up just over 60 quid. So so basically we'll top that up. So they'll basically have pretty much 100 quid's worth of prize. The winner will take for say 5 a bit of splashing around on the Sunday night.
Lovely little home game on a Sunday night. Very nice, Leigh. Nice little prize pool there in the end.
Yeah, absolutely. So we're down to 13 now. Say 8 for a final table, and we will see how we go. On talking poker raffles, we put a second APAT draw up this week. So the first one sold out really, really early in the week. So the second one, I think there's about 60 tickets left for it. So it's like 2/3 sold. If you want in for that for tomorrow night, be quick, because that will the remainder of those tickets are likely to go before we draw tomorrow night. So if you want in for that one, which will give you a APAT Players' Choice seat for 2025, so basically £140 seat to use for any of the events in 2025 that you want. You can chop it down and use it for 270 side events. You can use it towards a main event seat at the Worlds or a high roller seat at the Worlds, whatever you want. You go say anything you want to do with them. Super flexible whatsoever. Next event up for APAT in the UK is going to be Newcastle next month, if you fancy that one. But say plenty to choose from. Before we even get to the Worlds, we'll have done Newcastle, will have done Malta, will have done Coventry, will have done Liverpool in July, and then the Worlds in August. So I kind of always feel, Des, I always see the Worlds as being sort of halfway point, even though it is it's a little bit later than halfway in the year, but it always feels about that way. So loads of opportunities to use your tickets. So if you want to get involved in that, so second draw this week on raffles. Pocket eights versus the Jacks. Double top. Steve Forty's in a spot of bother here with his eights. Cold-hearted bitch. Dies Jacks. Oh, good. Steve's still got chips, though. Still got about 8 bigs behind, but a very much needed double up for the cold-hearted bitch.
She's giving away too much information here, Leigh. This is live to the nation. This is it, guys. We're pushing the all-in button. Leigh, can we call her a cold-hearted die, please? I just can't see her. I can't see her as that.
Absolutely. Well, Die's moved up to 10th now of the remaining 13 players, and unfortunately, Steve Forty is now our short stack. The double top 40 is going to need a double up at some point very soon. We'll keep an eye on that table at the moment. So we'll flip between them both, though. Say 13 left, playing down to 8 for a final table, and top 7 are going to get paid. But we're going to do a saver for 8th place and give them 10 tickets for the Med Poker Party draw on poker raffles. So nobody on the final table will leave empty-handed. Not even your bus fare home. You'll be good. Won't be a bother at all.
Oh, Leigh, I'm trying to envisage if one of my 10 lucky tickets actually came up trumps, MPP, Vegas, whatever. I mean, crikey, can you imagine?
Absolutely. Imagine. Steve's all in with King 7 against the Ace Jack of Karen Hardcore Womble. They both hit the flop, but that is going to be Steve gone, unfortunately.
Ouch. Unlucky Steve.
I mean, you say they're both two really good packages, and they're packages for 2 as well, actually. So it's one to remember. On my Facebook at the moment, and it'll be up there till about Wednesday. I'm giving away a bunch of tickets on there as well. You just need to share the post and tag in who you'd take with you if you won one of the packages, even if it's just to carry your bags for you. Apparently Ben Burnhill tagged in Naz, and Naz came back and said, "I'm not bloody carrying your bags." Said, "I'm not doing that."
Nice idea. Good idea. I like that.
But yeah, if you head onto my Facebook profile, you'll see that at the top of there, and just give it a share and tag somebody in, and I'll stick you in the draw. I'm giving away I think I'm doing 50 tickets or something like that with that one. So if you want in then go for it.
Can I just add, Lee, I'm happy to carry anybody's bags, or if anybody wants to tag me in, I'm in.
Well, you're not bothered Cyprus or Vegas. You're not worried for whichever
basically
one
anywhere,
it is.
Lee, anywhere. Yeah, trip away, very nice. Thank you.
Yeah, quite happy indeed. So Cyprus is the middle of May, and obviously Vegas will be the start of July. But we've got a bit of flexibility on that one actually, because obviously there's 4 starting days for the main event. So yeah, we've got hotel booked provisionally for 7 days at the start of the main event. I'll be honest, if you go really deep in the main event, you're on your own for hotel after that. Once you've had your 7 days on us, you that's it.
To be honest, 7 days, you're well into the money. I think
I'll be honest,
less of a concern at that point.
If you've made 7 days, well, it depends. You might not actually quite even be on day 4 yet. Depends how it works, doesn't it? But crikey, I'll tell you what, Noble Viking, I'm not going to get there in time, am I? No, but I've just showed Kings again. So it's absolutely on a heater on these final two tables. We'll play that by. Hey, wouldn't it be great if whoever won it did go super deep and cashed? And
can you imagine the rail?
It'd be phenomenal.
It'd be incredible.
Phenomenal if they did that. That would just be super. Even if it was just a min cash. Yeah. I mean, I'm not sure what's the min cash.
It's normally about 15,000, isn't it? $15,000.
Yeah, I mean, I think you've had your entry, and you've had your hotel and your flights paid for, and then you've picked up 15 grand. For a pound. Superb. I mean, awesome, absolutely great. So Simon's Lawler's in the chat saying, "Evening, what's the buy-in for the splash? It's just a £5 buy-in. It's got unlimited re-entries. Yes, the field does look very soft.
Terribly soft.
Can't argue with that whatsoever." I mean, the likes of Tony Ross has been properly splashing around on this. He's done a couple, at least a couple of
easy
re-entries. So yeah, so no, won't be a bother in the slightest. But we're down to 12 at the moment, so just say 4 off the final table and the money. And we've got, but who would you take with you? I mean, it's if you won one of the trips. What would you do? I mean, we had the conversation. Steve Forty was chatting about this last week, wasn't he? Going, it's if his wife's a teacher, and if it's in term time, that messes that up. And
he's moved on though, Lee. Yeah. Steve's moved on in his thinking. Now he's wondering, how much poker raffles merch does the winner get? So I like that he's thinking around the edges of it. Right, so will I get the time off? Will my significant number 2 be able to come? But what will the merch be? It's a good question, Lee.
Well, we'll do for the winner, we've got enough of these that basically they'll just be
stacks of those.
Just loads of those. There, basically loads of those. That's what we'll be doing. Yeah,
we'll give approximately 14.
I think, well, to be honest, we'll probably look if we can get a little bit of something done up for the for the winner that's heading over to Vegas if they so wish. To be honest, the patches work really well because then people can wear their what they're comfortable wearing. Last thing you ever want to do is kind of force kind of merchandise clothing on somebody, and then they're not comfortable with what they're wearing at the table that they would they want to do. And I'd say that's the last thing we'd ever want to do is put anybody in that position. But if they do genuinely want to rock up with our our head to toe
raffles.
Poker raffles, mascot outfit, they're very welcome to rock up for that and do a full-on Elmeth entry.
In the shape of a blue and red teddy bear or something. One Mr. Dan Pope is out there, Lee. Apparently, Ellie thinks I'd have to take her. It sounds like a plan. Dan, sounds like a plan.
I hate to break it to you, Dan, but yeah, Ellie is very correct, very, very correct indeed, with that statement. And deep down, Dan, if you think about it just for a split second, you know she's right. Yeah, you do.
Absolutely.
You know she's right.
Maybe she gets to play, Leigh. Maybe that would actually be the discussion. Who gets to play in the house?
I mean, who is the better? Yeah, I mean, who is the better player in that household? I mean, to be honest,
the edge?
you know, yeah. Absolutely. What a great experience that would be. I mean, I say Cyprus is great. And John posted up on something I think I posted on Facebook the other day and just said he got to go out and experience it. And Cyprus for 7 days is awesome. The Merit hotel complex. There's a couple of different ones. I think this package is for the Merit Park. There's also then like the 5-star Merit as well with the casino complex, and obviously that's where all the poker's happening, but it's all inclusive, that trip as well. So it's pretty cool for two people to head out in May and get a bit of poker in.
Absolutely. Now a couple of interesting posts here. Dan is laughing. He sees the funny side of that. He might not see the funny side, of course, if he wins the package. That would then be a challenging discussion. He goes on to say, she said I'd still have to carry my own bags. FFS, right? Taking them down to a level. Matt Smith says, imagine if the raffle winner went on to win the main event.
It would just be nuts.
Wow.
I would genuinely take them in cash from the raffle winner. Wow. That would be an absolute result, because they've had then a really proper good experience, because they've had a good sort of 3 or 4 days worth of. I think I want to say the bubble burst. Is it late day 3 or early day 4? Simon Lawler normally knows this kind of stuff.
I want to say they kind of they hang on late day 3, right? They kind of hang on. They want to get it done.
And sometimes it rolls into early day 4, doesn't it? I think so.
Yeah. But in any event, I suppose, and it's to be determined, but I suppose, Leigh, our winner would start on something like day 1D or something like that. I mean, you wouldn't necessarily want to start too early.
There's a little bit of flexibility there as to what you want to do. So, ultimately, if they wanted to go out early and play day 1A, we can accommodate that. Day 1A is always the super. So I think I'm right in thinking I want to say day 1A, B, and C end up coming together for the day 2, and then day 1D has its own day 2, and then everybody comes together for day 3. I think is pretty much how it.
It's just my my favorite week and a half in poker, just following the live updates and stuff like that, looking at the list to see what British and Irish players are progressing.
Hey,
poker go!
Exciting news.
Yeah.
In the last 24 hours, this is how close we're getting to the World Series. Yeah. Yesterday, pings up on my Facebook Messenger. New message from one Carl Pilgrim,
the captain for Fantasy WSOP. Is it coming up?
Hey, Leigh, how are you? My first thought. What does he want? Yeah. What's the after? What's the after now? What is? I've not heard from Carl for months, years. Well, since this time last year, funnily enough. What does he? Yeah. Could we update the graphics ready for the fantasy? It's back. He's bribed John into doing it for another year.
Oh, poor John.
It is very much going to be back. So the graphics have all been done, ready to go. So they'll be starting to push that out in the next. I presume next week or so it'll be. They'll be getting all the details out, because we're not going to be that far away. What we now kind of.
We're late March.
8 weeks away. Yeah, exactly.
So. We're not that far away. And I'm pretty sure we'll have either Carl or John on the stream, I would imagine at some point very close to the launch, to talk about it. Start to drum up that first bit of excitement. Love it.
Absolutely. So it'll be super, super cool. And so we'll get behind it, as we always do, with some prizes from our side and everything else that Carl works hard to get organised. And it'll be interesting to see what happens, because obviously it's the first year with GG owning the WSOP. So and obviously the schedule's out with a few tweaks here and there, but nothing major. Obviously a few headlines from some of the kind of the big names suggesting they might not even play the main event, because it's just too much of a marathon these days. And
nonsense. They'll all turn up, Leigh. I'm sure they will.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, take Steve 40, for example. Not only does he want to play...
Will somebody please take Steve 40?
Yeah,
honestly,
if you could just drop him off in Battersea, that would be good.
You know, somebody tagged him in my Facebook post saying they want him to carry their bags. Which I thought was a lovely. I thought
was it Dan Pope by any chance? No. I wonder if it was. I thought you were going to say somebody tagged him in the face. I was ready to go. Really?
No,
but Steve,
not, no.
Leigh, Steve's in the chat box. He's got ideas, right? He says, no, I want all the merch I can get. I want a Poker Raffles hoodie, a Poker Raffles baseball cap. I want to get Dan Austin to do Poker Raffles Nike trainers. I want Poker Raffles socks, Poker Raffles boxers, plus use of the APAT stroke Poker Raffles.
Can we just remove Steve's tickets from the draw? I don't think we can afford that. To be honest,
that's hilarious.
If to be honest, it's going to be bad enough if we don't actually sell enough tickets to cover the price of the ticket. That's going to hurt as it is. But I'll tell you what, if we then go to add bloody merchandise because Steve 40's won it, that might break us.
If Steve actually wins it, he might be the only player that we're sort of hoping will go out early.
Yeah, how was Poker Raffles? Well, it was going really well for 18 months. Then we did a Vegas draw, and then Steve 40 went and bloody won it. And basically, we've declared bankruptcy.
That's right. He was caught bringing fentanyl into the United States. We're all in trouble. Chris Bean says he'll give odds of 10,000 to 1.
On what?
Oh, I'm not sure, Leigh. I'm not sure. It can't be to find a winner. I take those odds.
Are we on the whoever wins the Poker Raffles or what? Making? I presume he's talking about whoever's to actually
making
win.
The money, perhaps.
You wouldn't 10,000 to 1 to make the money. It doesn't feel right. But
no, I'd have that. Thank you very much.
Yeah, we will. We'll have to wait and see. A bit of a hold on this because Bielsa's bucket is all in on this board of 2, 3, 5, 7 Jack, and look at that. Joe Diego folds eventually, and Bielsa's bucket shows the 5-8. It's a sort of semi bluff kind of thing, isn't it? Really, not a full on. It was Simon Lawler that tagged Steve.
Was it really?
Thinking, I'll get someone. Who shall I take with? I'll get someone to carry my bag. Steve 40 will do it. That's what he's decided.
Amazing. Dice says you've got to love Carl. Promise him Ralchix will make his day.
Coming back with the ace jack and Douglas Dew with the pocket tens. Jack on the board means Chris gets a full double up through Brian. Just as Frank was in the chat saying good luck Brian and Colin, and that was the bock of the century from Frank as Brian's just lost over half his stack.
That's the way it happens, Leigh.
But we're still got 12, so we're still 4 off the final table here, and we're going to be 5 to the hour, so we're going to be on a break.
Little break. Tell us, how was everyone? How was your weekend? Anyone get up to anything spectacular? How was yours, Leigh? Quiet one or?
Isn't it weird? It's, so obviously international break going on, so so it's a little bit quiet on the kind of sporting traumas as is the way. Although Wales had a good win the other day.
3-1 against Kazakhstan, was it, or somebody?
Yeah, they made a bit of hard work of it, but I don't.
Was that
think
the World Cup, Leigh?
Yeah, it's the World Cup qualifiers
Brilliant.
started.
Great start.
I just don't think there's an easy game in international football anymore. It's just not really. It's not really a thing, is it anymore? It's tough. I mean, England made fairly hard work of their opening game. But yeah, I think that's just where it is these days. It's not easy to do. But yeah, it's a weird one because it's a fairly long old break because for those of us that are not in the FA Cup anymore, focusing on the league, very much where you and I are, Des, in that, very much focused on this. There's no games next weekend either, and then it jumps into midweek games from like the 1st of April. So it's a little bit of a gap, which is a bit of a weird one. Yeah, but we're just been at home, dog sitting at the moment for one of Jen's brother's dogs who's staying with us whilst they're away. So so we'll just say super shit. But the weather's been nice as well. Actually, it's been
it's fantastic to see it coming back, isn't it? Yeah, I like that very much.
Yeah, no, it is all good indeed, and obviously just building up to lots of stuff going on poker wise. Obviously, I mentioned that APAT are in we're in Newcastle next month, and of course, before we know it, it's going to be Easter time, which means it's very much going to be focused on the Irish Poker Open over in Dublin. That's ticking around quite quickly. That's what now 3 weeks away, I think it is, something like that. So that's going to come around pretty quick. Looking forward to that. Loads going on, and we'll get a little bit more of the online schedule up as well. So we've just got Sunday Splash for a couple of weeks, and then we'll hopefully have a new leaderboard up and running for then sort of about 8 or 9 weeks is the plan. But you can still obviously satellite for the Irish Open through Grosvenor, so you can still get in on the Sunday night. Let's see what they've got going. They've got 4 packages guaranteed tonight. I tell you what, it's looking. Oh, is that a day one now? Right. So I thought, crikey, that's looking light on numbers, but it's one of the day one qualifiers for it.
Like, holding.
I was like, bloody hell! That's like hang on, we'll cut this short. I'm going to go and jump into a satellite. It's like
big old event.
Ridiculous.
Yeah, I was running through our YouTube group, YouTube page rather, a few days ago, and I came across a great interview that you and I did with Fintan Gavin, Mr. Irish Poker Tour. Crikey, it must be 3 years ago now, Leigh. I mean, time's just going so quickly; it's just flying. But I kind of watched the first 5 or 10 minutes. You know, the way that you think, "Oh, this is really interesting." I'd forgotten a lot of this stuff, and you just listen. I think he was with us for an hour. Really interesting. Lots happening in Irish poker, but no question, the headline event is the Irish Open, and I suspect this year will be bigger than ever, and it was huge.
Yeah, they've actually got a satellite. They have got a satellite run tonight for just three main event seats, which is currently overlaying. So it's 3 times €1,150 seats.
3 guaranteed.
It's a €50 buy-in.
Brilliant.
And what have they got so far? I think I make that 55. I think I make it 55 buy-in. So yeah, it feels light. Yeah, late reg on it can't be for very much longer. I wouldn't have thought.
And is it like multiple buy-ins, Leigh? No restrictions for a
period? It's unlimited. Oh no, it's up to 5 re-entries. So
okay,
but it's only €50. So the idea is
3 guaranteed seats for 55.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So there's currently 34 left of the 55 that bought in, and I think there's been 12 rebuys, whatever a rebuy is. I'm not quite sure how that works because they've got re-entries as well. But yeah, it certainly looks light of the because they're still just got the top 3 are getting a seat, so they've not hit that number yet. Anyway, so we don't know how long there's going to be on that. Let's have a look. They're at level 8 at the moment, so there's about another 40 minutes of late reg on that. So it might well get there by the end. But that's the one that I won last year, the €50.
Nice. Okay.
And I think it cost me 100 because I think I took a 50, and then I think they offered an add-on. If I remember rightly, yes, they did. They offer an add-on. So I took the add-on at the close of reg, and basically got my seat for €100.
Sweet, very nice.
Yeah, I mean, Stars have got a 25 seat guarantee on tonight, and they've got the same next Sunday as well. So it really is ramping up for anyone that's already going. Basically, loads of ways for you to actually get your main event seat. But if you weren't and you were thinking, well, okay, let's give it a whirl. Well, there's plenty of good value ways of getting it. Tony Ross is all in. Let me get over to that table, and he's been called by Bielsa's bucket. Tony's only got just under 4 bigs, so it's ace-8 versus ace-queen. It's the ace-8 at risk. Tony's going to need an 8 or runner and a heart, and not going to be good enough. And we're going to lose Tony in 12th place.
Unlucky, Tony. Leigh, I'm kind of laughing here in the background. Di has posted, Des Duffy, do you have some bum fluff under your nose? I can't see as I'm on my phone. Or is it just a shadow? It's just a shadow. Just a shadow. That's all. It's a shadow that'll be gone tomorrow, I suspect.
Yeah, it's definitely not a shadow. Yeah.
Steve says, Des Duffy, been watching the main event 2005 on Poker Go. What episode on APAT YouTube was the Andy Black famous interview?
Yeah.
Oh, that is funny. That is funny.
Full-hearted bitch is all in. Under the gun, just over 4 bigs for Die. He's been called by Joe Diego with 7 deuce. And the jacks for Die are going to be good. And to be honest, they're quite right. They should have been good as well. But Diego was actually a fairly short stack as well. So they're gone in 11th place. So we're down to 10 now. And Die's added a little bit to a stack. Not very much, though, because Joe Diego was pretty much the short stack anyway. Over on the other table, Ace-9 versus Ace-Jack. Seymour tilts with the Ace-Jack. Kiziel with the Ace-9, and Alan gets a double up with that one. So, we're down two off the final table now. Anyone that's sent me details about medals from the last couple of weeks, they will all be going out in the post this week. For anyone that sent me address details or to pop in a post, we just get them all sorted out this week, and they will all be winging their way to you. So there was Di saying anything for 14th, because I'm going to be out in 14th, and we're down to 10 and still there. Short stack of the 10 at the moment with 7 bigs, but very much still in with a shout. That's for sure. So chip leader at the moment is Nobled Viking. It's got 36,000, which is about 35 bigs. Actually, yeah, it's pretty much, we're at 1K stage, aren't we? So it's 36 bigs. Hardcore Womble is second in chips at the moment. So Karen doing very well. And whoever Vegas is currently third.
Who do you think amongst the APAT membership, Leigh, would qualify best to wear the name Vegas on Grosvenor Poker? Who's the most Vegas among us?
Well, you'd have assumed
it's got to be Wigglesworth.
You'd have assumed the name would have got taken ages ago, right? Wouldn't you? Yeah, you just would have assumed that would be the case. Yeah. But
it could have been. No, I mean, it could have been. It could be that this is a long-term GP player playing with us tonight, splashing about.
Yeah, quite possibly. Everyone is very GP a long time everyone ago. Is very, very welcome. Yeah, they've changed software since then, so everybody had to change their
good point.
Their name. If you remember Carl, my joke about not hearing from Carl for a year is rubbish, because he did message me the other week because he was moaning about his username on Grosvenor had been changed and how could he go about changing it back. Actually, he wasn't moaning; he was just asking a question because it had picked up some random. I don't know. It was something like he was Stud Muffin 69 or something, and he wasn't happy with that, or something along those lines. So
that's just at home, is it, that one?
Yeah, that's just what Emma calls him. So so he wasn't happy with that in the slightest. So we will get that addressed. Trying to see who are going to be the two that are going to miss out here. I mean, everyone even say Die's got eight bigs, but actually there's nobody else less than 10. So we're not actually no one's in a major rush here. As saying we're 2 off the false bubble, if you include what we're throwing in. Dan Pope says I'm Nobled Viking. Excellent, thank you for that, Dan. Nice to know. Well, going very well so far.
Simon says, guaranteed it's not him. We're just gonna have to think on, Lee. Maybe there should be some Vegas raffle entries for
When was the last
whoever can tell us.
When was the last time Simon was in Vegas?
Ooh.
It's been a little while, Simon. Let us know. When were you last in Vegas? Because I know you used to go pretty regularly.
He's always super helpful on the what is it? The ESTA discussion. Is it the ESTA?
Yeah.
Your tax form. Simon is
Young
always
man,
in there saying, "You got to do this."
There's no need to feel down. I said, young man. Yeah, at the ESTA. Yeah, I just had sad times. I just had an email through the other day from them saying mine is due to expire.
No.
So it's been 2 years since I last filled one out, and I don't think I'll have a need to fill one out for the rest of this year. I don't think that's for sure. I can't see me getting out to Vegas this year, I don't think.
Mr. Briggs is saying, bribery, Des. I suppose it's a form of bribery. You offer some raffle tickets in return for information. Right. Who's in the know on Vegas? Simon says 2018, Lee. 2018.
Wow, okay.
That's nearly 7 years ago now. It's basic maths, but it still seems like a big number.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. Talking about basic maths, just finished watching a great series on Apple Plus called Prime Target.
Oh, I've seen this. Yes, I've seen this. I don't think I'm through it. It's a no end episode spoiler, which I know you never would. But I thought it was a really
really good.
We head off to was it Baghdad or somewhere and
look at some, that's the one. That's the one.
Very interesting.
Really good. Yeah,
graffiti of the day.
Yeah.
Wow, Simon is saying he's been to Vegas 23 times.
Wow, that was just in 2018.
Wow.
That was.
He's been there for 23 days, but he keeps waking up and he calls that a new event every time.
Yeah. Don't use that on Vegas, because remember, you're the only guy I know that genuinely lost a day in Vegas and has no idea what happened. So
that's very disturbingly. I feel somewhat violated every time I think about it. But unfortunately, I don't think I was violated. So no point in bragging. Steve goes on to say, "Have you watched 1,000 Blows on Disney Plus?"
Yes.
Haven't seen that.
Very good. Yeah, 1,000 Blows. 1,000 Blows is excellent. Yeah, really, really, really good.
Wow.
I love stuff set around that sort of time as well. Because I'm a massive Sherlock Holmes fan, so I love anything late 1800s kind of that kind of era.
I thought he said it was the 1980s. No, it's the 1880s. It's very small. It's very small. I thought it was football violence, but apparently not.
No, it's very good. 1,000 Blows. Yeah, that's excellent as stuff as well. Ace 9 versus the Queens. It's the Queens at risk. That's what you want to see on the flop. Yeah, talking Stephen Graham. We also watched last week Adolescence on Netflix, which is phenomenal. Just incredibly well produced and acted, and dealing with some really serious and complex issues. King Queen versus Ace Jack. King Queen at risk this time for Douglas Due, and Kiziel Ace Jack is going to be good enough, and I think that might be. I know we're one away. But Adolescence, phenomenally well done. I thought. I mean, even if you the storyline and the actor to one side, actually the camera work and what they did, for anyone that doesn't know, it's 4 episodes, and it's a one shot thing per episode, which lasts for nearly an hour. So basically it's one camera, constant with no cut or editing. Stephen Graham was in one set in a restaurant. I don't know whether you ever watched that one. I can't for the life of me think of the name of it, but a similar thing where it was basically one shot. It's like a restaurant on an evening kind of service. Again, phenomenally done, but one camera, one shot. Really, really impressive. So clever to do the planning that must go into organizing that to make that happen, because everybody's just got to get in and do their thing. They've done some interviews and stuff about it and talking about the stuff, the ad-libbing that went on, where you can't even think about it. You've just got to go. You just have to go with it.
You have to live in the story.
Somebody's got,
you have to
exactly.
actually live in the story. I thought in some respects, one of the most amazing bits of the production in that was the how you feed people into the scene in a completely seamless way, right? Because at the end of the day, an actor's got to be standing in another room waiting for their piece. You know, it's just quite, somebody comes through the door, suddenly they're washing something or whatever, they turn around. It's got to be so authentic.
The final, have you watched it all, yeah? So
I'm about 30 minutes left in the final episode, so I haven't seen the big finish that I've heard about.
So the final episode, have you got as far as them going off in the van yet?
Yeah.
No.
So I saw the item thrown.
Even that shot.
Yeah.
Of them going away in the van.
Yeah, and it's the camera sat on the bonnet.
Panned round, and all of a sudden, and then it comes. Just so clever. Yeah, very, very clever indeed. We're one off the final table at the moment, so say 9-handed at the moment. I think we're back playing hand for hand again for this final table, and that cold-hearted bitch, Des, is still there in 9th place.
Hacking on in there. What she's doing, Leigh, I like it. She's kind of making a bit of a habit of it now. She's mentioning every single position before the position exits, going 10th. Do I get something in 10th? She didn't mention 9th, but you say we're down to 8 now. Well, we're down to 8. Everybody's got something.
No, we're down to 9. No,
so we're on the raffle entries bubble.
Yeah, we are. And thank you, Simon. Boiling Point is the name of the other Stephen Graham film. I think it was a film, and then it might have turned into a series actually as well. I want to say. I think that was the case. But yeah, again, very, very clever. You know, it's superbly done, and the organisation that goes into it. You're saying you can put the storyline and the acting of adolescence to one side, but that's phenomenal, absolutely phenomenal.
You've got an offer, Leigh. You've got an offer in the chat box. It comes from that cold-hearted bitch. Oh, Jesus, I just can't say it. Di says, what if I made you my baggage handler, Leigh? Would you be tempted then to fill in your ESTA app? Whoa, spicy.
Absolutely. On one condition, you let Jen know that I'm going to Vegas. Yeah.
Oh, it's funny. Chris says,
that would be great if Di rocks up at my house.
I want to see that.
Jen, you've not met Di, but anyway, she's got something she wants to tell you. Yeah, anyway, I'll leave you both to it. Yeah.
I want to see that filmed in one take with 360-degree cameras. And meanwhile, Christian the Biscuit Briggs says, like one takes. You have to see Alfred Hitchcock's Rope. The set had moving walls, etc., to accommodate cameras and crew.
Oh yes, I've heard of it. I've not seen it, but I do remember somebody talking about that. Yeah. Because back in the day kind of thing. Yeah, but phenomenal.
Steve says adolescence is very good. Must be every parent's worst nightmare if you have a teenage child. Yup. Di says not a double bubble girl. I have no idea. No idea what that means, Leigh. Not a double bubble girl.
No, I'm not sure. That sounds like I'm not down with the kids. I don't know. You know, Di knows all the kind of street speak. I don't know what that probably means something. It was like watching Adolescence and what all the emojis and stuff mean these days. I mean, it's just a different language. Different language wouldn't have a. It's true what Steve says. Actually, it's every parent's worst nightmare. But every parent's worst nightmare to have a teenage child. Full stop. To be honest, because
stop it there. Yeah.
Because what a world to spend time. I thought actually, okay, say for someone that hasn't got kids, myself, I thought it was a real eye opener because that's just stuff that goes on all the time in most schools or most kids of that age. That kind of stuff is going on in some form or another. So I thought it was very well explained and trying to see it from all different sides and as to why these things happen. Everyone just assumes, kids getting stabbed or whatever is just, why does it happen? Well, actually, I thought it put it across quite well to explain the complexity of what it is. There's some really beautiful things. And again, I don't want to spoil it because you haven't seen the end of the final one, but there's one particular thing in one of the closing scenes which I just was like, wow, really, really powerful stuff. So all in the call, Ace King versus the Tens. And it's the Ace King at risk, and the cold-hearted bitch has missed, unfortunately, and is going to finish in 9th place.
Oh, no. Talked herself out of it.
I'm talking about something as serious as adolescence and then jumping to a hand. I do apologise. That's like, we're talking about something quite serious. But we have a final table. So unlucky to you, Di. You finished in 9th place. I feel really, really bad for Di, but I mean,
double
the trouble
bubble.
Is if we say we're gonna, if we say, well, we'll do something for 9th, then Brian's gonna say, well, what about 10th? And who finished 11th? And then Joe Diego's going to be on going, what about 11th? I mean, it'll be, you've got to have a cutoff somewhere, and this final table is very much going to be our cutoff. So congratulations to all the 8 that are on there. 7 of you are going to get paid out as per the payouts on Grosvenor, and 8th place is going to pick up a tenner's worth of Med Party poker, whichever way around the P's are, tickets. Courtesy of Poker Raffles, plus the top 3 are also going to pick up some tickets as well, £40, £30, £20 for those. So we've got our final 8. Vegas is currently chip leader. Hardcore Womble second. Kearshill third. Bielsa's Bucket is 4th. Beanbag is 5th. Noble Viking, Dan is 6th. Seymour Tilts, Alan is 7th. And Colm is 8th at the moment. So good luck to all of you. Whoever busts next is going to pick up some tickets. So not the end of the world. Maybe if Di hadn't said she's not a double bubble girl, maybe she boxed herself by saying that. Quite possibly.
Oh, I think she has done it. She's immediately switched allegiances to another lady. Come on, Karen. There we go.
Yeah, Karen doing well. So second in chips on this final table. And so loads of really good TV about at the moment. So plenty of stuff to watch. There's also a good thing with De Niro that was on. I can't think which streaming thing it was on.
Oh yeah, I've seen that. Zero
Day.
0 day. Yeah,
0 Day. Yeah, brilliant. Really good as well. Yeah. Really. Are you partially through? That's like about 3 things you're partially through.
And add fear to that. I just finished
Fear. Anything to complete or not?
Sean is very like that. She will not move on to another thing until she's completed one thing. I can certainly flavor, do some tasters, and then find myself involved in 3 things.
Is there anything you'll watch now week by week, or will you wait for everything to drop? And then binge the lot. That's the way we do things now.
Yeah, I love a good week by week
anymore.
To be honest, I love a good week by week, but it has to be really good. It has to be something that you look forward to.
Okay. So if there was something really, really good, then you would then stick to it and see it through.
Yeah.
On a weekly basis.
Yeah. And I discard stuff quickly, Lee. So I might watch something.
Yeah, we won't with most stuff. So we'll wait for it all to drop. First, if something's good, the first thing Jen will say is it all available now?
Well, what I will do, I love the build up to an episode 2. Right, you kind of miss that when you binge stuff. You really do. But the next one that I think will become a week to week will be The Last of Us, season 2. I assume will be a week to week. And I watched the first series with my 2 younger kids, and we'll watch this together. It's lovely to watch something together with your kids, So for sure, that'll be a week to week.
Nice.
One other thing that I saw, Lee, I'm not sure how new or otherwise it was. I'm not sure I could even tell you what platform it's on, but Fear with Martin Compton.
Yes. Ace King versus Jax, just quickly. Ace King at risk. and the jacks are going to be good for Kiziel. Fear is excellent.
Really good.
Like a four-parter thing set in Scotland. With a super ridiculous twist at the end that if you happen to watch Gogglebox on Friday night, they completely spoiled if you hadn't actually watched the series.
Don't do it.
No. Oh no, they full on didn't give a shit. It is a really, really good multiple kind of twist thing at the end. And if you watch Gogglebox on Friday night, you're done for basically. you're in
trouble.
No point worrying about it.
Bit of sports news for you, Lee. Quarterfinals of the Nations League tonight. One of the games is Spain and Netherlands. They finished on aggregate. I don't know, 2-2, maybe something like that. But they're currently taking pens. It's 2 apiece.
Oh, brilliant. Okay,
2 apiece. So
this is for who gets to go through and play the little summer tournament, isn't it? Yeah.
Oh, is that right? So the 4 of them go through to the.
I think it's once they get to 4. I think that's then who does the little summer.
Does that then clash with the Club World Cup? It probably does, right?
Oh, it's all. Yeah, I mean, it's going to be hell on earth, isn't it, for anyone that's. I think if you're an international in one of those top 4 countries, it's also got your club in that, then probably you don't even get a break.
Well, France
this summer, I wouldn't have thought.
France and Croatia. France won 2-0 tonight. They're now 2-2 on aggregate, and they're just awaiting the start of penalties. So that's going to be decided by pens. Germany and Italy drew 3-3 tonight. Germany take that 5-4 on aggregate, so they're through. And the other game saw Portugal beating Denmark 5-2. So that one went to extra time, but very comfortable for Portugal in the end. And
England are still in the second tier of that, aren't they? They didn't qualify. They didn't get promoted last time round. They didn't have a very good. They didn't have a very good run. Yeah.
Correct. And Ireland, I mentioned to you just before we went on air, played Bulgaria tonight. They won that, so Ireland stay in League B or Group B or whatever the hell you call it. As well, so I guess at some point in future they'll redraw those groups. But so both France and Spain, Netherlands going to penalties. 6-6 now, Spain and Holland. So 3-3 on pens.
So we lost Bielsa's bucket. So if anybody wants to own up to being Bielsa's bucket, then we will sort you out £10 worth of poker raffles tickets. I'm assuming it's a Leeds fan. I'm only.
Could be, and who do we know? We must know a few Leeds fans.
Would be my guess. My guess would be it's a Leeds fan, but
Simon says, "How did Scotland do?" It's brutal, absolutely brutal. Of course, the Scots won away in Greece a few days ago. Big win. Greece were England's group. Good team, right?
And then didn't turn up for the home leg.
Turn up for the home leg today, losing 3-0. And they get relegated down to Group B. So you've got England, Scotland, Ireland. I'm not sure about Wales.
Ace 5 up against King 9 of Hardcore Womble. It's the Ace 5 at risk, and Alan hits on the turn and is going to double up through Karen. We stay down to 7, so everyone's in the money now. So 966 is 7th place money, £63 up top. Actually, you were better. You were 34p better off by finishing in 8th.
There you go. Mark Steele says Bielsa bucket is me, and yes, I'm a Leeds fan.
There we go. Excellent. Well, hopefully, Mark, if you've already got a Poker Raffles account, I'll be able to find you easily enough. If you haven't got one, if you log on to pokerraffles.com and just go and buy a free ticket for the video, poker video training draw. So you don't actually need to pay for say everyone's a winner with those ones, and that'll set you up with an account, and then I can then add your tickets from that. Ace 10 is at risk here against the Jack 4, and the Jack 4's got there for Kiziel, and we're going to lose Colin in 7th place. So unlucky to you. So Mark Steele, if you haven't already got an account, you can just easily get one. Just go on to pokerraffles.com. Say click on for the video training draw. So you don't actually need to pay for that ticket, but it'll just get you to pop your details in. Then once you've got an account set up, I will add your tickets for the Mediterranean poker party draw and get your 10 tickets onto your account for you.
Very good, Leigh. And Chris Bean, of course.
Oh, there we go. Mark's on saying he's already got an account. Brilliant. Excellent. Lovely.
Chris says England got promoted to Group A. Of course they did. They did end up beating Greece in the group. So they go up to Group A. Simon, talking about the Scots, says, it got rocky after Thursday. Hilarious tonight. Simon goes on to say it's called the Liverpool syndrome. I have no idea what he's talking about. I'm just hoping we can fingernails hold on and win the league. And then they can say anything they want, Leigh. Anything they want. So all good.
Perfect. Excellent
Meanwhile,
stuff.
in the Netherlands, Spain, the penalty shootout, and I'm just looking at SofaScore, they both missed their fourth penalty. They both scored their fifth. So we're going into sudden death. Drama. It was Yamal. Little lad Yamal missed his pen.
A massive raise from Kiziel. 43 bigs all in. There's no action from anybody else. It's just a complete open shove. Now we're down to 6. And I'm going to assume, unless Vegas or Hardcore One will have woken up with an absolute monster hand, they're just going to go, we'll let that one go. And Kiziel does it again. It's just 2 massive shoves. 9s this time.
Meanwhile, the Dutch have missed their first sudden death pen. Waiting to see if Spain score. Spain do score. Spain go through. The Netherlands go out. Let's just have a look at France and Croatia. It's currently 2-1 in pens to France.
I don't even know where the summer tournament's taking place.
Like you, Leigh. No idea.
I know it's normally one country, isn't it? Just hosts the 2 semi-finals and then a final sort of thing. So it's similarly to the way these games are done. They play the sort of semi-finals on the Thursday, and then the final will be on the Sunday or something like that. I think it is. So.
I see I don't know if you saw it at all. The IOC elected a new president. So the Olympic Committee, of course.
Did Seb miss out? Didn't he? I think.
Yeah. Not only did he miss out, he got hammered. He only got 8 votes. And I think it was a lady called Kirsty Coventry, an Olympian from Zimbabwe. Back in the 80s or the 90s, and fair play to her. Boom. She's the first woman president of the IOC, the first African sort of president of the IOC. An amazing achievement.
Well, I genuinely hope it was voted on ability and talent and that's how you get the position, because that's the way it should be done. Surprised Sebco got so few votes. But I suppose it's something he's been always working to, and I just wonder whether that doesn't sometimes do you any favours.
I think he positioned himself quite early on as the athlete stroke change candidate, and unfortunately when Kirsty Coventry, I think it's Kirsty, but Ms. Coventry came along, who also was an athlete, and I think was seen as very progressive in her own right. Thomas Bach, the German president, he's been the president of the IOC for 12 years. I think he really pushed her candidacy hard, and therefore I think she probably took a lot of Sebco's votes. So be it. I mean, he's been the chairman of World Athletics for a number of years.
I'm sure she'll do a fantastic job, and it'll be very, very good. And Simon, in response to my "Where's the tournament?" says probably Saudi. I mean, all joking aside, it's the sort of thing you can see down the line. Those kind of things will happen. They're going to see an expansion of football. They've talked about the 39th game with the Premier League for ages about going and playing games overseas. Well, it's kind of worked for the NFL in games being played in in the UK and in Germany, and I think was there even one in Australia, I want to say, recently maybe. But ultimately, I think it's going to end up. These things are, it's a global sport, and global leagues that are going to be followed. So you're going to see more and more of this. I would imagine. So things like the Nations League games and things like Super Cups. It wouldn't surprise me if at some point the Community Shield gets played somewhere. It's an obvious thing just to go and as an opener kind of thing. Ace Jack versus Queen Jack. Queen Jack at risk here. Dan's at risk because he's going to get another club. Oh, so close. Unfortunately, we lose Dan in 6th place, picking up £11.69. And we are down to 5. Dan was chip leader for a reasonable chunk of that, but just cards didn't go for him as we got to the sharp end of this. But that's the way it's going to go. You're going to see more of these these kind of games with teams going off and playing, pre-season games and tours and things. I mean, United are busy marketing the hell out of the summer tour. They're over in the US, and now they've got a game in Sweden or something, and they're trying to get you to buy tickets for this and tickets for that. Ultimately they're all looking to try and bring more money in, and if a venues pretty much will say, well, we'll take the Community Shield game and we'll put that on somewhere and we'll make a big deal of it, whether it's Saudi or anywhere, to be honest, it'll money will talk. That's for sure. Ace Queen versus Ace Queen. So unless we get something dirty here,
rainbow,
which we're not going to, then they'll just be chopping that up. That's Beanbag and Hardcore Rumble, Chris and Karen. We're down to 5. Yeah, Simon says even had the rugby league in Vegas. Interestingly, which is where Stuart Pearce was flying back from when he had his incident the other week.
Is that right?
He was in Vegas. He was in Vegas for the rugby league and was flying back on a Virgin flight, and had there was obviously a medical emergency on the flight, which they then, I think the flight ended up landing somewhere in Canada. I think it was in the end, and obviously he's got well looked after and whatever. But he was over in Vegas for the rugby league.
He showed up in the crowd on the telly box for England's game against, was it Algeria? Who did they play? Just a couple of nights ago. He was in the crowd, probably in director's box or something. It looked a bit frail, I thought, but he was certainly there and out and about. So that's great to see whenever somebody has a scare.
Well, and being on a transatlantic flight is, it feels probably one of the worst places you could possibly be. Okay, you've got staff and situation people can try and help, but it's not a great one, is it? Really.
At least on the plus side, Lee, I suppose if you're super pragmatic about it, you're never too well. I mean, you might be if you're in the middle of the Atlantic, I suppose, but you're generally never too far away from an alternative sort of airport.
Aaron's all in with the Ace Queen against the 10-9 of Kiziel, who's been getting there with a lot of hands on this final table, but not this one. And it's a double up for Karen. But Kiziel is still very much our chip leader here. Got twice the chips of anybody else, and is carrying on applying the pressure on this final table, getting their chips in early and saying, okay, anybody else want to take me on? Difficult to also know their range. It's hard to know whether they're being called by Beanbag with King 10, and it's Ace 10 for Kiziel. So it's got cards again, and has also got the diamonds there as well as a redraw. But the Ace was good enough, and we lose Chris Bean in 5th place, picking up just shy of £15, and Kiziel continues just absolutely smashing this final table to pieces. Now got more chips than the other 3 put together, 4-handed here. So Germany is the finals. I saw Simon post that up. So yeah.
Meanwhile, talking about qualifiers, France, who had been a goal up in that penalty shootout for several kicks, missed their fifth kick. Croatia scored. They've gone to sudden death. For which Croatia have scored the first pen, so they're actually ahead now. I assume France are lining up to shoot. I'm just looking at an app as opposed to a game, and they score. So the kicks go on.
Yeah, well, France are good at penalties, aren't they, Des?
We don't talk about Thierry Henry's dirty, rotten handball way back in the day, Leigh. Still hurts me.
Yeah. So down to 4 now. So one more. We're on the poker raffles added value bubble. Is that if that's even a thing? It's I'm just
let me flash up the poker raffles colours. There you go. Live draw.
Yeah, that's even a thing. But one to go is going to miss out on some added value. But say top 3 are going to pick up. Third place will pick up 20 tickets. Second place will pick up 30 tickets, and the winner will pick up 40 tickets for the Med poker party draw, which is a week tomorrow. It's going to be super value in that. We're fairly honest when it comes to raffle stuff, and it's just not going to sell out in a week. So so if you do fancy getting involved and buying some tickets, you're going to have super value. Seymour Tilt is all in with the ace too, and crikey, Kiziel's picked up a hand.
Look at those diamonds!
Look at the diamonds,
wow.
Alan. Diamonds are Alan's best friend, and he's going to get a double up through Kiziel. I mean, again, to be fair to Kiziel, every time he's got his chips in there, it's had a hand. And it's been ahead. Superb cards on this final table. But yeah, the Cyprus draw, it's just going to be super duper value. Really, the package is worth $5,000. I think we've sold currently about 1,000 tickets. So you do the maths on that. It's super value. Even if you just went and bought one ticket, you're going to get ridiculously good pot odds, as they say. The pot. In fact, I think where it stands at the moment, it's probably a call with any 2 cards, Des.
Oh, I think so.
Honest.
Yeah, I think so.
With the Mediterranean poker party draw. Yeah, I think you'd be crazy not even just buying a couple of quid's worth, because it's well worth being in it, as I say, because it's not we're not going to get to the max tickets by this time next week. So
well, think about it. If we sold 1,000 tickets, Leigh, and if you stumped up for 50, which is not an insignificant purchase, but you've got 5% of the tickets in the draw. It's like you're a 20 to 1 shot to win a $5,000 package for 50 quid. I mean, I've had worse bets. Put it that way.
No, exactly. And don't forget the package is so obviously it's entry into the Luxem Pay Grand Final, which is a $2,200 buy-in, which is a $2 million guaranteed tournament. It's 7 nights, all-inclusive hotel accommodation for 2 people. They'll sort out your airport transfers for 2, and then you get $1,000 worth of cash, which basically covers you getting some flights from wherever it is you're going to fly from. So pretty much you can get 2 of you out to Cyprus for a week, all inclusive. Don't need to really stick your hand in the pocket again if you don't want to. You could just go out, play the one poker tournament, and have a break for 7 days in the middle of May. So well worth doing. Obviously, if Di wins, Des, I won't be available for the show that week because I'll be over in Cyprus with Di. So, or was that just me?
Don't count your chickens. If Di wins, I'm going to be sending her an alternative proposal.
Yeah. So, Claren is all in, hardcore womble, and decision on Alan L. Seymour Tilts, who decides to fold this one. So, it's super tight up. So Kiziel's still got just over 40 bigs. The other 3 have all got between 10 and 13, 14 between them. Each of them's got in that range. So it's it feels like it's Kiziel's to lose here at the moment. see whether they keep applying the pressure. Yeah, Steve mentioned about the Heathrow incident this week. Yeah, absolutely.
Didn't really hear. I mean, I know it was big in the news,
Crazy.
but
Yeah.
I didn't kind of pay a lot of attention to it, Leigh. Why were people flying back to New York from the Mid Atlantic? Could they not get into Gatwick or Manchester or?
So
Highbury?
so basically they so it happened at about 11:30 at night. So by the time they called a major emergency on it, it was about 1:30 in the morning. Obviously, there's no flights coming in and out of Heathrow overnight, I believe.
They called Gatwick and got a janitor, did they?
So I think the issue was once Heathrow had declared that it was closed,
Yeah.
then you have to make a decision on, well, how far is it safe to turn around and head back? If you're not turning around and heading back, and you don't yet know whether you've got an airport you can get into, because most of them are at reasonable capacity anyway. And I think there was something like hundreds and hundreds of flights on an overnight coming into Heathrow first thing in the morning. So if you didn't know you had somewhere else to go to land, and ultimately, I think some of Europe took some of it, but there's not many options in the UK where you're going to do that. So I think some of the flights, if they were so far out, the decision was, well, if they can actually safely turn around and go back, you safely turn around and go back. So that's what they did.
Got it. Yeah.
Oh, fair play to Steve 40. So if Di does win, he can go because it's term time. So the wife will be doing the exam. So it's very decent, Steve.
Very decent. Dream on, Steve. Dream on.
Yeah. Di will be very, very appreciative of that noble offer. Ace Jack versus King 10. It's the Ace Jack at risk.
Whoa! Look at the reds.
And Alan lives to fight another day. Doubles up through Kiziel.
Kiziel's had a challenging couple of sort of hands here in the last 10 minutes. And fair play on both occasions. Nice hand.
I was going to say always super nice in the chat.
Gentlemanly.
Yeah, just kind of like very very friendly they are when it's gone against them. But say most of the time they've shown the stronger hand going into these showdown positions, but.
And of course, he's built up a chip lead, so he's entitled at this point to take a couple of flyers to try and get it done.
Yeah, absolutely. But they've gone from having more chips than the other three put together to now. Yeah, it's so Kiziel's now got 30 big. Seymour Tilts has got 20, and the Womble and Vegas have got about 12, 13 each. The Womble. A hardcore Womble that is Karen.
Takes me back.
I wonder where the Womble comes from. There must be a reason. We haven't asked yet why.
Wimbledon?
We haven't asked her why.
Wombles?
I don't know. Might be. Yeah, might well be.
Some of Plough Lane's finest back in the day. Do you remember Vinny and Dennis Wise? And I mean, what a team that was.
I mean, Karen could have been. Could have been. Following the side home and away during that period of time. Quite possibly. All in again.
Womble.
Yeah, Vegas just called on the button, and Karen at the small blind has gone all in. And is Vegas going to take a spin here? No, they're not. No, they're not. So we've got 10 minutes to go, and we'll be on another break. I think this is probably going to go just past that break, I would imagine, with a 4 left at the moment. So I would imagine we'll go into just on 11 o'clock, I think. But I don't think it'll be too much after 11 o'clock tonight. So Kai, if you're out there, if you just want to stay with us for a little bit longer before getting that beauty sleep, that'd be good. Watch this to a conclusion.
Oh, Leigh, that is funny. Talking about funny, my kids have insisted that I watch Beast Games on Prime. Don't know if you've ever seen any of Mr. Beast's
that's
stuff.
Mr. Beast doing Squid Games, basically.
Yeah. On the Prime. big money.
Right.
Quite creative. Some of the games. It's fun.
It's quite nuts when you think how he's made his money and how he's made his money, and the fact that actually he just caught it at the right time.
Well, he kind of created it, really, didn't he?
Created it,
went big.
And now, if you tried to now replicate what he did in that mid, you just couldn't do it.
Yeah,
it's kind of been and gone. He was just in there at the right time, properly made his money, and now it's become a bit of a mainstream thing, and everyone's trying to do it, and actually, therefore, nobody can anymore. Basically, but worth an absolute fortune, isn't it? But seems to have a lot of fun with what he does. So kind of doesn't feel like he's doing it. Doesn't feel like he's doing a huge amount of harm.
Yeah, you just got to doff your cap to him, because he thought, not only creatively, but he thought very big. Even when he was just doing his early YouTube stuff, he was still thinking incredibly big. So before he even made it to normal TV, even if we question some of the streaming services, he was always thinking big. And this Beast Games is huge. Reminds me of some of the the old day game shows, prizes worth winning type thing. A lot of excitement and just classic fun, as opposed to anything too techy. So
Steve 40 says Karen who? Karen Bulgaria, I think is her surname. Yeah, still can't think why she's called Hardcore Womble, but yeah. Anyway, there'll be some explanation for it somewhere along the lines. I'm sure there will. Meanwhile, it's Karen Allen in a hand here, and the Jack 10 is going to be good. Both slow played that, but Seymour Tilts is very much our chippy leader here now, Des, of the four remaining. Kiziel's given up what was a long-standing chip lead here on this final table, and Allen has taken control of the remaining four. I'm sure Alan would quite fancy a trip to Cyprus to play in a $2 million guaranteed poker tournament. He'd hold his own out there, wouldn't he? No bother whatsoever.
Smash it.
Yeah, no bother whatsoever.
Well, it's all gone a bit serious now. I say that and the chips go in. Let's see if we get a caller here.
Yeah, Kiziel's still got 16 big, so Alan's got 29 now. So it's a tough one to make the call. Which is it's an obvious, sensible play now for Kiziel to be to be shoving there, with that kind of stack size, really.
So Leigh, if I just scroll down ever so slightly on my app, which was on here in the background, I can see that there are a couple of CAF World Cup qualifiers tomorrow, so you'll enjoy this. One of them features Kenya and Gabon, that big African game. The second one was Mauritius, fair enough, against Eswatini. I've never heard of Eswatini as a country.
Okay.
Anybody? Eswatini? Never heard of it. Finished 3-3. Obviously, against Mauritius. Never heard of Eswatini.
Wouldn't even know where that was. Sure.
I'm going to assume that the name has changed or something at some point in the not too distant past. But
yeah, quite possibly.
Here we go. It was formerly Swaziland. Brilliant. Genius, Crispine.
Says our resident quizzer.
Impressed.
Crispine. Yeah.
Why did it change, Chris? Answer me that. I'd be really impressed.
Kiziel with the all-in on the button. Again, there's a lot of all-in shoves here, and nobody's wanting to make a call at the moment. Well, to be fair, Karen's been all in quite a few times as well, so just nobody seems to want to be calling anything down at the moment. maybe these poker raffles tickets we put for the top three, Des, has swayed this four-handed now. Nobody wants to bust for the extra added value that they're going to get. They've all locked up pretty much £19. Then it goes 26, 40, 63. But obviously then we've got the added tickets on top for the top three as well. So
wow. Chris tells us that he believes it's the local language version of Swaziland. So just it's like Cymru.
Chris, we don't want I believe, we want facts. We only deal in facts here. That's all we're interested in. We're not just opinions.
So Chris says, a bit like Turkey is now known as Turkey. Is it the same with the Czech Republic and Czechia? Because or has something political happened there over the last couple of years?
No, don't. Isn't it not? It's pronounced Czechia, isn't it? Not Czechia, because Czechia is something different. So
Czechia.
Czechia is somewhere different. Yeah,
that sounds very war torn. But is that the Czech Republic? Or is it another slight political divide?
No,
is it a language?
It's the Czech Republic's now. Yeah,
Czechia. Okay,
is now Czechia. Yeah. Because that's where Ash is, which is on the Czechia German border. So, it is in the middle of nowhere. And I was looking. I think you might have. Do you remember the other day? Who do we have on the chat saying, reminding us that we said we'd go over and do some comms and stuff over there? And I did look it up just to confirm how tricky it actually is to get. When you're there, it's great. The poker's brilliant.
When I signed up to that, Leigh, I thought I could do it from here.
Yeah. The poker's brilliant. The casino's amazing. The staff are brilliant. It's great fun. But there's not a lot of anything else around it. So you're on a bit of a trek to get there. But I think you do it as part of a trip, wouldn't you? You wouldn't. You say you'd tag on a few visits elsewhere whilst you're doing it. Yeah,
fantastically. And we have Laurel and Hardy in the chat box. One asks, "What is Switzerland?" and the other says, "Neutral."
Yeah. Yes, very good. Very good indeed.
Not bad.
So we're 2 minutes off the 2 minutes off the 5 to the hour break here, and I'm struggling to see how we're gonna lose anyone before the break. You watch this now. Karen shoves all in. Alan makes the call.
Here we go.
No, they've gone check. Well, actually, no. It was a one big blind bet. So there's 4 bigs in the middle as we've got to the river. And Alan's 2 big blind bet on the river gets through, and on we go to the next round.
We haven't mentioned it, Leigh, but a really interesting Chinese Grand Prix, apart from the race itself. Ferrari obviously taking down the sprint race. Lewis Hamilton, a glorious start to the Chinese Grand Prix weekend, having had a really difficult last week in Australia. But then a bit of a disaster for both of the Ferraris in the race, both from a performance point of view, but also they both got chucked out for breaking the rules. Hilarious.
Absolutely. Just looking at this this Irish Open satellite that we were talking about earlier on in Grosvenor, 3 seats guaranteed. It ended up getting six seats.
Oh, gee.
It went a bit crazy with re-entries, rebuys, add-ons. There's 51 of them left in, and there's 6 seats plus about €500 for 7th. There's 50 of the 93 left, but there were 32. It says 15 re-entries, 32 rebuys, 37 add-ons. They basically ended up getting to just over $7,000 worth of prize pools. So good luck to anybody who's still in. See whether I can see anybody I recognise. Okay, so Cal, who's one of the Grosvenor pros, is currently 3rd in chips. Cal Moriel. He's currently 3rd in chips. Selby 147 is currently chip leader. I'm assuming that's a snooker reference, or maybe it is actually a snooker player.
Mr. Lester.
Anybody recognise on here. No, not that I can see. But yeah, well worth giving those a go if you Oh, I can see there's a player called O'Kearney, who's still in a satellite. I wonder who that might be.
Not surprised at all, Lee, at that one.
Yeah. Oh, I don't know. He was in a satellite on another site I was playing during the week, and he had 4 bullets in it and still didn't win a seat.
That's quite a lot. That's quite a lot, basically, for some of those satellites.
It's as Simon would say. It's it's all right. You post up the ones when you win.
Buy-ins? What's your buy-ins?
Yeah, but what's your buy-ins like? Yeah, absolutely.
I hear what you're saying, Lee. I hear you.
But you can still win Irish Open packages on Grosvenor. So they've got like a day 1 into a day 2 satellite running for packages now, and then or you can just go straight for the seat only, which is the €50 option. But you can satellite in for all of those from like I think it's 50 cent into into €5, €5 into a €50, something like that. So super cheap ways of getting in on Grosvenor. Just go, you'll find it under the tab. We've slightly moved, and so we're under events now, and then if you click on partners, then you click on APAT. So they've had a bit of a rejig with everything else they've got going on, and they've also now got Vegas packages on Grosvenor as well. So you'll see a Vegas 25 package. So again, they're doing that as a day 1s into a day 2 thing. Yeah. So they've got guaranteeing two lots of £4,000 packages. So I don't quite know what that package includes. Let me see if I can find out. So it gets you a $1,500 buy-in to the WSOP Millionaire Maker, 7 nights at the Paris Hotel, flights and spending money.
Well, Paris is right on the doorstep.
Yeah, I've won one of those years and years back, and yeah, Grosvenor properly look after the players that they send out there. So yeah, if you can win a Vegas kind of package through satellites, that's not a bad one to win if you can do. Next final is when's the day to? Let's have a look. 29th. By the looks of it, I think is the day 2. No, 30th. Sorry, not 29th, 30th. 29th was another day 1. So next Sunday. At 8:30. So you basically can run a day 1. You can jump into the day 1s this week and try and get into the day 2 next week. Maybe we'll have a look at that this time next week, Des, whilst we're live on the stream.
Yeah, that would be fantastic.
And see how the guys are getting on with that. Yeah. Meanwhile, Kiziel is all in with their 16 bigs into the 2 shorter stacks on this final table. Gets past Vegas in the small blind and Hardcore Womble in the big, and Kiziel shows pocket 5s again. To be fair, has been quite open with the cards when they've been shoving Kiziel, and has had cards most of the time. Karen is all in and gets that one through. Blind on blind. On we go. Simon Lawler just naming fonts in the chat.
I think he is. He was looking for the capital of Fontland. I think he's named it there.
I've got a funny feeling when we did one of these a couple of weeks ago, the Sunday Splash absolutely flew by. Do you remember we had to jump on because it was already on the final table by 9:30? And
well, as you said, we've seen loads. We've seen loads of all-ins here four-handed, but we haven't seen an exit in 15 plus minutes. I'm sure we haven't. So just the way it goes.
Yeah, absolutely. And it doesn't matter whether it's a £5 tournament or a £100 tournament or a £1,000 tournament. Structures are the way they are, and everyone's very much entitled to play their game and try and maximise their return from the tournament. Absolutely. Well, 3 of them to the flop of 7 deuce queen with a couple of hearts there.
This might get messy.
I don't know. It doesn't look like the most appealing of flops. No, it's checked all the way round. So king of spades on the turn. And as passive as you want to get. It's checked again.
Wow.
And Alan's 10-8 gets there. I'll look into the Vegas packages a little bit more and just pop some details up in the APAT Facebook group this week.
Yeah, as you said, Leigh, I mean, we could definitely follow, a couple of those on Sunday nights. They could be good fun.
Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong, a £4,000 package is nice. I mean, it's not a main event entry and flights for 2 and all that. I mean, it's
who's doing that, Leigh? Who's doing that?
Yeah, don't get me wrong. It's lovely and all that. I mean, it's at least you're out there, kind of you're experiencing some of it, if nothing else.
I'd pay a £50 buy into that.
I'm not even sure what the when the Millionaire Maker is actually. I think it's a bit earlier, isn't it?
Yeah, I haven't really looked at the schedule, I've got to be honest, since it was announced. I mean, I know the headlines of it, but I'm not that close to knowing when stuff is occurring. Other than July the 4th, let's get going, baby.
What, Independence Day?
Yeah, main event. This normally kicks off around the 4th, doesn't it?
It is somewhere around there, yeah, I think. I basically I just can't afford to do Vegas this summer. I bought a ticket for Oasis, and basically that's me done.
It's taking my liquidity.
Yeah, that's basically I'm paying that off for the next decade. So yeah.
Oh.
If anybody wants a coach trip from Bristol to the Wembley area in July, I've got one spare. If anybody wants one, only
ticket to the gig maybe, but the coach ticket, Leigh, I'm not sure about. Oh
no, that's the only bit I'm getting rid of. Yeah,
darn. Yes.
Did France win in the end, by the way? Did they?
They did on pens, yeah. It went through.
Nice. Yeah, lovely. Vegas puts one big in the middle. They're down to 3.4 behind. But Karen lets that go. So these two now really are getting short, down to 7 bigs. Vegas is all in. Kind of feel someone's going to have to make a call at some point here.
Yeah.
Against these two players.
So, Leigh, as an example, France getting through to that final. So those finals are played, I think, between June 4th and June 8th, something like that. So, it's going to take a week either side of that, I guess. But presumably the Club World Cup. So Mbappe plays for Real Madrid. He'll play for France. He's going to play for Real Madrid in that Club World Cup. I'm not exactly sure when that kicks off, but it can't be that much later than the second week of June, surely. So, possibly a Champions League final, a Nations League into a Club World Cup. I mean, does he come back in September?
They're already suggesting anybody that's playing in the Club World Cup, players aren't going to be
back in August
ready for the start. No, because there was talk that. Do you remember there was talk that the Man City and Chelsea first couple of games of next season would be just be moved, and there was all a big hoo-ha about whether they will. Well, yeah, I mean, I think I made the suggestion, said, well, yeah, they just should. It's absolutely ridiculous. But what they should have done is they should have fixed the fixtures so that they played each other in the first game, so that just got postponed. It didn't impact on anybody else. But because you can, sometimes these things just need to be dealt with properly. But they could have come up with a better solution for it, 100%. Because it's there's no way are they going to have a festival. Well, it depends what squad they send over. That'll be the interesting one to see, because it's over in the States. So you've got and they're going to be over there for a number of weeks. So you've got a whole time difference thing, jet lag, everything else. And you've had no downtime from the end of the season. So you'd say you're pretty much just going to roll one season into the next, pretty much. I don't be surprised if some of these bigger clubs, obviously they're going to have contractually be obliged because they're earning some big money from it. And that's the other thing, which is a bit ridiculous, really, is these teams are earning money, which then goes against their FFP and all the financial fair play stuff. Chelsea won their Champions League when? 3 years ago? 4 years ago?
Yeah.
So all of a sudden they're going to pick up 50 million.
Yeah.
And if they go really deep in this tournament, possibly more than that will all go against their finances, which other clubs don't have the opportunity to do. It feels a little bit wrong, but.
So there's a bit of a bun fight going on for your coach ticket. Triss is in first. Oh, free coach trip! I'll take it. The only thing, Triss, is you have to get a Bristol, right? You have to get a Bristol first, and then you can take it back to London.
That's the only thing.
The downside, my friend. Steve says, "Is the single seat from Bristol to London City next to you?"
No, I don't want it.
It's value, if you ask me.
No, definitely not. It was the only way I could get Oasis tickets was having to attach on the coach, which was still cheaper than what they were selling the standing tickets for. So it worked out really well in the end. It wasn't significantly more than the face value of a standing ticket. So that's a good thing. Hardcore Womble is all in and gets that one through. Karen was down to 4 bigs then, has now got back up to about 7. So and Alan's taken a huge dent, and Kiziel is now our comfortable chip leader now back again. Alan's all in.
We're going to have to flick the switch, Lee. We're going to have to flick the lever.
And is called Jacks versus Fives. And lucky for Karen with the Fives. Fives are in a whole heap of bother now. And we're going to lose Karen in 4th place. She's going to pick up £18.81 for her efforts this evening. And we've got our final 3 that are all going to get some added value courtesy of Poker Raffles. So good luck to the 3 of you. Vegas is sat with 9.5 bigs. Seymour Tilts has got 15.5. And Kiziel is our chip leader with 24 bigs. Good luck to all 3 of you.
Well played, Karen. It's been incredibly consistent over the last month or two.
Yeah,
super. Every single weekend she's hitting finals.
Well, I've said for a long time she's by far the best poker player in her house. That's no doubt of that whatsoever. Don't see that Joby on here doing anything, do you?
That'll confuse Steve even more.
Yeah, absolutely. Right, let's see what happens now, whether we get anything moving a little bit quicker. Now we're down to 3. Possibly not, because I'm not sure even whether.
No, totally.
For all we know, none of these players are even listening to the show, so might not even know that there is added value. I'm sure if anyone knows who they are, they'll let them know.
Well, this is getting juicy.
King 8 versus King 9 was the hands there, so they chop it up.
Wow.
In the end.
Did you, Leigh?
Obviously, if we don't know who you are for the added value, then you'll need to put the your application in on the back of a postcard or a sealed down envelope and in triplicate for us to be able to allocate the tickets. Obviously, yeah.
Send that on to our Kazakhstan office.
Unless you're Mark Steele, who's already got an account set up, so I can get his done straight away. To be honest, I'll be honest, I could have done Mark's whilst we were sat here watching this. Actually, I should have flicked the other screen up and I could have sorted it. But I'll sort Mark's out as soon as we finish the stream. So. Been a good final table though, actually. Lots of plays. Not anything been too crazy going on here. It's been
excuse me.
As Vegas is raised it up out the small blind. Yeah, well played, Karen. Well played indeed. Having a good run at the moment. Hopefully, we will get to see you at a live event sometime later on in the year. For no other reason, there's a medal to be collected.
We love medals.
Yeah, Karen says she'd rather collect it because she really wants the personalised photo with Tom Brady. Really keen on that. So it's just we're happy to put medals in the post. But obviously for those of you that will save us the postage, you do get the benefit of a handshake and a photo opportunity with the one and only Tom Brady. So yeah, I think Karen's final comment there, someone had to bust. Yeah, it was kind of getting to that point, wasn't it? Whereas, it was kind of like somebody's got to at some point here. Just very unfortunate, actually, for four-handed with pocket fives. You're thinking, well, okay, worst case here, I'm flipping, and to find that you've actually come up against an overpair four-handed is just very unfortunate. Especially as what's it? The odds of a pair is what 1 in 27, is it? I think. So you shouldn't. Yeah, it's seeing four-handed is see two pairs dealt is doesn't happen very often.
No, you're lucky in any pair there.
Yeah, no, Tris. Yeah, don't forget to put. Yeah, absolutely, Tris. There. So as I mentioned earlier on, all those that I've been chatting to for the last week or so about medals, they're all going out in the post this week. So I don't know how Tom packages those up. I've got our new envelopes for our poker raffle stuff going out. Des, check these babies out.
Oh wow, look at those. Crikey.
Yeah. So if we're sending you any raffles,
wow.
merch and bits, they're going out in those.
It looks like an invitation to drive for
next
McLaren.
Week. Yes, yeah.
If you're young enough.
Was it pair 1 in 17?
1 in 17.
Well, I knew it was at a 7.
Pretty long shot,
though. I couldn't remember what it is. Yeah, but to get two winning four-handed is but obviously you do get through volume of hands playing online. I mean, don't ask me about probabilities of stuff. Crikey, I pay by sheer gut feel. Ace Queen versus Queen 10, and it's the Ace Queen Clubs at risk. 10 on the river for Kiziel, and we're going to lose Vegas in third, picking up £26 plus £20 worth of poker raffles tickets. Vegas, if you are out there, just drop me a line to let me know who you are, and we'll sort you out getting those tickets into your account. If you're not out there, Vegas, well, great, we've saved 20 quid, brilliant, all good.
Sounded like an old Sammy Davis Jr. Track, that Vegas, if you're out there. That didn't sound like Sammy Davis Jr. Now I'm willing to accept that, but my heart was in it.
It's the same for Kiziel. I don't know who Kiziel is. Obviously, we know Alan on the other side of the table. But again, just drop me drop me a message or in the chat here and say, yeah, that's me. We do double check these things. So don't anybody just think you can get away and go, yeah, that's me. We do double check these things, but.
And there's no point coming to us in September saying, hey, where's my Vegas tickets? Be too late.
Yeah. Especially as we're not giving away Vegas tickets. We might do some Vegas ones. We'll have a look. We'll have a look.
That'd be amazing.
We might do some Vegas next week or the weekend after. Yeah, well, we could do some on the Sunday before the draw, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe. We'll do something for that one. Why not?
It's a bit harsh on Vegas that you wait an hour to snap him off the 3 outers you on the river. That's Triss just coming in with a very late sort of rub, really, or a bit of a rub down.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. So we don't give away too many tickets. So we don't mind doing we'll do the odd thing here or there with poker raffles and tickets giveaway. But even though, say, like the Cyprus draw is not selling that great, we're not just going to give tickets away because it's
tiny
not
promo.
It's a little bit of promo, a little bit of talking about it's great. But last thing we want to do is we have a lot of respect for those that have bought tickets, and we will always respect that situation. So we're not going to devalue that by just chucking tickets left, right, and centre. So we'll always do a little giveaway when we're doing a promo or something like that. All in 7-6 versus Kings. Crikey, Kiziel's woken up with an absolute monster hand and just makes it better on the turn and even better on the river, and that is it. And to be honest, a worthy winner on this final table. Kiziel ends up winning, picking up £63 plus £40 worth of poker raffles tickets. As I say, Kiziel, don't know who you are, drop me a message if you are listening to us here, and we'll sort you out those tickets. Congratulations also to Seymour Tilt. Well played, Alan. Picks up £40 plus we'll sort out £30 worth of tickets into your account, and I'm pretty sure you've already got an account set up with us, so we will get that sorted for you. So congratulations, and that is us done for a Sunday night, Des.
Amazing.
20 past 11. I like it.
Amazing. Not bad at all. Very pleasant ending to the weekend, I have to say. Hope you guys enjoyed your game of poker. Leigh and I will be back tomorrow evening. I'm sure some of you will be joining as we draw an APAT seat winner, and of course we start that heavy roll into. We got two. We've got two APATs.
Two, unless let me see. Hang on a minute. Let me tell you how many tickets are left on it, because the second draw. So the first draw sold out. 46 tickets left on that now.
Yeah, that'll be gone. So there'll be two APAT draws tomorrow night.
Yeah. So if you want to be in on the APAT draw tomorrow night, either get your tickets now or first thing in the morning, because I would imagine by tomorrow afternoon, early evening,
it'll be gone.
Those last ones will be gone.
Yeah. Sweet. And of course, we'll be in the final week roll into the Mediterranean Poker Party draw, which is just, as Leigh said, it's going to be an absolute cracker at the following weekend. So hopefully you can join us tomorrow night. If not, we shall see you next Sunday night when we will do this all over again. Brilliant. Have a great week, folks, from Leigh and I. Night-night.